A pleasant day to each and everyone. Sir, good day. Classmates, I am Roger Optional, ABS and Science student, and today's video, I am going to discuss my chosen topic for the sports set of activities that I given to me. So, on this topic, I will going to discuss the presentation on the cell cycle. So, in discussing this lesson, I am going to discuss different content. First, what discuss about what is cell cycle, and the second, basis of the cell cycle, and lastly, the stages of the cell cycle. So before we discussed a further about our topic this morning, this day, I am going to discuss or differentiate what is the cell cycle. So the cell cycle is a process in which a cell grows and divides to create a copy of itself. So some organisms reproduce through the cell, and it's complex through multicellular organisms. The cell cycles is used to allow the organisms to grow and replace cells as they grown worn out. So in a basically or in a simplest way, the meaning of the cell cycles, no, ang cell cycles daw is ito yung process na kung saan nagdi-divides or nag-create ng replication, no, ang isang cell sa isang living organisms. So, ang cell cycles kasi, isa itong way or paraan when the specific organisms na mag-grow siya in order to replace and reproduce cells sa isang living organisms. So in animals, the whole cell cycle takes around 24 hours from the start to finish. So some cells, such as skeet cells, are constantly growing through the cell cycles, while other cells may be divided rarely. So if it all, neurons, for example, don't grow undivided once they are matured. So usually kasi, ang mga cells na nag-grow sa isang organisms or sa isang human body or sa isang plants, sa animals rather, meron kasing mga nagfo-form when it comes to replications na nangyayari. That's why merong mga hindi nag-grow or merong ding nag-grow siya because of the different function yung mga nangyayari when it comes to sa process na ginagawa sa isang cell. So the different phases of the cell cycle rather. So the cell cycles consist of three phases. We have here the G1 phase. This cell, includes growth and synthesis. Then the phase is the DNA synthesis phase, and the G2 phase is the preparation for division. And we have here the M phase, or the emphasis includes the overlapping process of mitosis rather, and cytokinesis. So we have discussed what is G1 phase. So the J1 phase or GAP1 phase begins at the replication of the mitosis and the cytokinesis and lasts until the beginning of the S phase. So the phase is generally the longest of the four cell cycle pieces and is quite variable in length. So during this phase, the cell chooses either to replicate in the deoxyribonucleic acid or the DNA, or to exit the cell cycle and enter the quiescent state when the GO phase. So sa G1 phase kasi, when it comes ang cells na in order to start up until the end, no, nagko-combine siya, meron kasi siyang mitosis and cytokinesis, no? Beginning from the G1 phase until maka-create siya ng other cells now from mitosis and cytokinesis. Then, and lastly, ito yung ito yung fourth cycle when it comes to yung pinakamahaba, no? So, the quite variable in length. Isa siya sa mga mahaba na part ng pisa sa pagpa-process ng isang cell. So we have here the S phase. So replication of these chromosomes is restricted to one specification portion in an interphase, so-called S phase. So the DNA synthesis phase, so which typically lasts about 6 hours in mammalian cells. The start of S phase The actual initiation of DNA synthesis takes place several hours after the cell has committed to carrying out the DNA synthesis. So during this phase, each chromosome replicates exactly once to form a pair of physical linked sister chromatids. In animals, cells is a pair of centrioles is also duplicated during the phase. So itong phase, meron kasi mga nangyayari, merong mga restriction when it comes to yung proportion nila na matatawag natin or mako-consider natin na ISP siya. So, typically of this app is usually meron siyang initiation with it comes to meron siyang mga several times or mga several hours bago siya nagko-committed carrying into the DNA synthesis. So that's why merong mga process ng isang cell na matuturing natin siya nga merong mag-grow or meron ding hindi. So in this time of peace, each chromosome replicates exactly once to form a pair of physical links sa sister chromatids. So yun nga. Say for an example, dito yung isa at dito yung dalawa. So makakonsider natin siya as a sister chromatids. When they are exactly once form of a pair. So yung parang nag-ano siya. Meron silang yung matatawag natin parang nag-bind siya when it comes to during the SPs. So the J2 piece, the portion of this interpiece that follows is called gap phase 2. So some cells can exceed the cell cycles from G2 phase just they can from J1 phase, no? The combination of these three phases is known as the interphase. So sa J2 phase no, na nangyayari, meron kasi siya ang from this portion to this portion. So meron siyang gap when it comes to pagbubuo or sa pagsimula until the end or starting or beginning, no? That's why merong mga combinations na nangyayari when it comes to interface dito sa na to. So we have here the MPs. The MPs includes the overlapping process of the mitosis and cytokinesis, no? So the mitosis is divided into 5 stages. We have here the prophase, second promatophase, then metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So these are the different structural form of the presentation of the mitosis stages, including the different divided stages. So first, you have to discuss a prophase. So this DNA becomes visible as the chromosomes, no? During sa phase na ito, ang nuclear membrane is dissolved siya. No, para siyang natutunaw when it comes to sa pagbibigay, no? When the centrioles migrate to opposite poles, then spindle fibers form. So as yung nakikita niyo sa sa illustrations, merong mga dito nuclear in sa circle na parang nadidissolve siya when it comes to process. So we have here the promatophase. The promatophase is the phase of mitosis following prophase and preceding the metaphase. In eukaryotic somatic cells, the promatophase is sometimes included as part of the end of the prophase and earlier metaphase. So parang may combination siya when it comes to preceding sa especially sa eukaryotic somatic cells, no? So next we have here prophase. So we have here the metaphase. So the spindle fibers attached to centromeres, then the chromosomes lined up at the midline of the cell. So meron siyang mga specific part na na-attach siya, no, sa centromeres, no. So we have here also the anaphase. The spindle fibers pull apart the centromeres. Then once chromatid goes to attach centriole, they look like this. So no, yung nangyayari niya na makikita niyo sa illustration when it comes to nagpo-pull apart siya sa sa isang chromatids to each centriole, no. So we have here the telophase. These two new nuclei form Then the chromosomes appear as the chromatin or the threads rather than roots. So mitosis ends. So dito sa sa stages na ito, nangyayari ang mitosis ends na kung saan yung parang naghihiwalay siya in order to produce another cells rather than yung mga other cells na nabubuo. Then, we have here the cytokinesis. The occurs after the mitosis. So the cell membrane moves inward to create two daughter cells, each with its own nucleus in identical chromosomes. So yung makikita niyo sa illustration, yan yung example ng cytokinesis. So, that's it. So, yun yung mga na ito yung references sa sa report ko. But it is it is a sample discussion when it comes to cell cycles. No presentations lang kasi siya, no. It is hindi siya yun na specific. Meron lang mga some parts na na-discuss ko na simple basic lang siya discussion. So that's it and that's all about my report and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.